Reading Reddit number 11. Divine Spirits. The last step to becoming a paladin was to walk into the sacred forest. It was in that forest that my idols had become hero. The mere men had returned as a legend. In the silence of the silver glade, I knelt before the altar that every paladin before had prayed and discovered their patron. My hopes were high. I'd trained since I was old enough to hold a sword and spent every day living a righteous life. As I prayed, waiting to be chosen, golden light shined upon the altar. Upon the altar, a bottle of wine appeared. I stood, befuddled. A wine bottle? Was I meant to drink from it? Was there some form of liquid inside that would enlighten me? Actually, it's just a bottle of our finest ambrosia, a voice slurred in my head. The voice was followed, moments later, by another golden light. Out of the golden light stepped a satyr-like man with the music of a choir as accompaniment to his footsteps. His hair was long and golden. He was just as tall as I was, though he stood on goat legs, and his manner of dress was sloppy. On his crown he adjusted to his grapevine laurels, plucking a few of the grapes and eating them before me, and then straightened up his robe. He gave me the biggest possible grin on his red face, then handed me a jewel-encrusted gold drinking horn and a beautiful lute with golden strings. "May your cup never run dry, and your lute always play sweetly," he told me in a way that could almost come across as endearing. "I'm sorry, there must be some mistake. You're Viller, god of spirits and song." "And wild parties?" "I suppose that too, but I am to be a paladin. I'm not a bard. I was looking for a god to be my patron, for whom I would ride and bring to the heathens his or her message." "I'm a god, aren't I? Well, I'm your patron." "Not to offend, great Viller, but—" I felt my heart sink. Was he the god that was said to be my patron? Was this really not a mistake? Isn't there someone else like Brynhild or Fyron? The goddess of battle? The god of invention? What do you want with those guys? They're both uptight stick-in-the-muds. What about— Listen here, I'm your patron god. Viller, at your service. Just because I'm not as serious and blah 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 as the other gods doesn't mean I can't give my blessing to a paladin. I blushed, suddenly embarrassed for my manners. He may not have been the god I was expecting, but there was no reason to be so rude. "So, how does a paladin go about spreading the word of Viller?" I looked down at the drinking horn and lute. "Well, I haven't completely worked that out," Viller admitted. "To be perfectly honest, this was a bet that I had going with Mirabane, goddess of miracles. You know who that is, right?" I nodded. I'd studied all of the gods. Mirabane. Her celestial body is the miracle, if you ask me. Bet it wouldn't take so much to— Pardon me, Viller, but this is getting off topic. "Oh, right, yeah, sorry. I've got a paladin. First paladin ever. So I can't mess this up. Well, how do people usually spread the word of Viller? You're the one down here all the time, aren't you?" "Well, bards will sing in your name at pubs and taverns. Most taverns will have something depicting you inside their establishment. I think there's even a wine named after you." "Really? That's all just wonderful. So, what do paladins do?" "We fight heathens and spread the word of our righteous patron. We help those less fortunate than ourselves and guide others into the light of the gods." I felt an excited rush when I said those words. Maybe Viller would see how his principles don't mess well with the ideals of a paladin and change his mind, or reveal a secretly glorious side to himself that no one had seen. Viller nodded, looking to ponder for a long moment, before his face lit up. "All right, I've got it. You can spread my word of merriment by being peaceable. If someone offers a duel, you can offer wine instead. If someone wants to fight, soothe them with my song." He smiled widely. "And don't always look so somber. Smile and make merry." My heart sank even more. My years of dedicated training to this? What use was there in all that I'd done if I'd been fated to have a drunkard for a patron? My face was aglow, my fingers nimbly plucking the golden strings, my body warm from the sweet nectar of Viller. My enemy sat on the ground before me, his face hot from intoxication and his eyes wide at the sounds of my playing. "Where did you learn such melodies?" asked the drunken fool. "Viller, the god of spirits and song," I announced joyously. "What a great god! A great god indeed." Most paladins would have been horrified to see a golden satyr approach them at the altar in the silver glade. There was little glory to be found in the name of Viller, no renown. I remembered many years ago when I prayed to be seen by the gods of wisdom, strength, battle, or even fire. Despite these prayers, I got the god of wine. His word was an easy thing to spread. You bring others joy through song and mead. You solve problems without sword and battle, and you give a sort of divine comfort. There was no shame for me being listed as the registry as the paladin of spirits and song. Why waste your life fighting when you can have fun and party instead? Hi, this is Gabriel from GayBrain.com. If you want me to read your Reddit post, your Twitter tweet, or your short story, just let me know. Message me.